Hey there everyone, so I was there one night. I had just watched the season 6 finale of The Flash and I sat there all by myself, wondering one thing over and over and over again. How the hell did The Flash become so bad? And the answer to it was not quite simple. It had many different angles, but before we dive into each and every angle of it, please make sure to destroy that like button and subscribe to my channel. It really helps with the algorithm. Now that it's out of the way, let's just jump into it. Number 1, Iris West. Now, I liked the way that the show producers portrayed Iris West in the beginning as the gal who Barry had a likeness to, but they failed to show if Iris had a likeness to Barry too. I mean, sure, she was jealous when Barry had first started dating Linda Park, but that was just jealousy and nothing more was ever portrayed by Iris as love or affection for Barry Allen. And later on, she just kind of accepted that Barry was her future husband when she read that newspaper from the Time Vault, and things just kind of went on from there. The second problem I had with Iris West revolves around the same fact that we don't see much romantic feelings between her and Barry, and in the later seasons too, we don't see that much. Candice Patton, who portrays Iris West, always seems so distant and nonchalant, like she's talking to a stranger and not the love of his life, and that just kind of ruins the chemistry between Barry and Iris. We are the Flash. This is what freaking gets me, hurts my feelings, hurts my ego, bruises my fucking ego, because Barry was the one who was struck by lightning and was in a coma for 9 months. He's the Flash. Barry, who had to witness both of his parents' death in front of him, is the Flash. And Barry, who had to spend months into the Speed Force to save the universe, is the Flash. Not you, but Barry. But the show writers just don't seem to care about that, do they? I mean, sure, Team Flash helps around a lot, and there wouldn't be much of any help for Barry without the many versions of Harrison Wells, and Cisco and Caitlin help too. Heck, even Joe helps around whenever he can with his cop skills, but except that, what do others do? Ralph Dibny was introduced as a comic relief at first, and then later on, it just kind of went on from there. He was not necessary, like Wally West, which we'll get into later. And yeah, it was an interesting character which was played by Hartley Sawyer, and he performed okayish, but now that he will not be performing in the next season, I don't know how I feel about him. And Iris, get this, Iris becomes the leader of Team Flash in season 4, even though Barry prepares and tells Cisco to be the leader in season 3. I mean, way to go, writers. Can't even go with one story, can ya? And I would even be okay with that. I would even be okay with Iris being the leader of Team Flash if Iris had earned her leadership. I mean, what did she really do to deserve the post of a team leader and not Cisco? She gave pep talks, she wrote blog posts, and she was targeted by one of her future husbands that came to the past to kill her. Iris later on becomes more nuisance than a side character in season 5, to be honest. She becomes a mom that seeks forgiveness from her future daughter from the things that she might do in the future, which Nora belongs, in which Barry Allen disappears. She guilts Barry into doing the thing she wants, and if he disagrees, well, she's gonna be mad about it later, because she's gonna make sure that she's mad about it. In season 6, the show writers try to show a more confident side of Iris, the independent journalist of Central City citizen that we'd like to see in love, and what happens? She gets trapped in an alternate dimension for a whole dang season. Way to go, Iris West. I mean, I blame the show writers here because they make her seem helpless when she doesn't need to be helpless and overly support her when she doesn't need to be overly supported. Now, that's just the writer's fault completely. Reverse Flash. Okay, I loved the Flash and the Reverse Flash. Since the first episode had aired, the way he had hatred for the Flash and everything he stood for, I had never seen anything like him before. And knowing that he cannot kill Barry Allen, I like how he makes things miserable for Barry all over the series, and he fucks him up mentally. He kills his mother, he kills his daughter, both of which his name is Nora, by the way. He really likes killing Noras. Anyway, the way that they teased the return of Reverse Flash in Crisis on Earth X, and the fact that he did not return in the next Crisis, which was Crisis on Infinite Earths, really pissed me off. It was like teasing us with a Snyder cut and giving us the normal one. But all in all, they did pretty okay bringing the Reverse Flash as the main baddie of Season 5, with Nora doing Thawne's bidding. It became a really interesting plot to follow and made the viewers grab ends of their seats at the end when the Reverse Flash once again took the thing Barry loved with all his heart, his daughter. But once again, the writers fucked up. Welcome to Season 6, where all the Earths got destroyed post-crisis and all the Wells from different Earths were possessing the one and only Wells who remained alive. Now, I don't know how it made sense at all. If all the alter egos can get inside one Wells who is alive, why don't the other alter egos of every person on the planet possess every person there is? I can tell you why, because plot. And not only this, Eobard Thawne also tries to possess Wells. I mean, I don't know why would that matter. He can just time travel with the speed or time sphere or get a time ship from somewhere in the future, and the fact that he's not the original Wells makes me even more confused. But I think he had Wells' body, he was connected to the other world, so I think it made kind of sense. I don't know. Caitlin Snow / Killer Frost. Now, I was in love with Caitlin Snow, to be honest. She was sweet, kind of shy, who life had dealt a bad hand, first with Ronnie and later with Jay Garrick / Hunter Zolomon. But she always got back up, dusted herself off, and was again trying to save the world one patient at a time. It all changed in Season 3 when Killer Frost came around to help Savitar, and things just went downhill from there. Killer Frost became more and more the focus of the show, remaining Caitlin behind, which made many of the fans lose interest because they would have liked some of the situations being played by Caitlin Snow instead of Frost, like situation where there was a need of a real doctor, or situations where there was a need of a character with some empathy and deep connection to other characters. But no, they just had to force a new character down our throats, where new characters didn't really make sense, and we were left with this bitter taste in our mouths for Killer Frost, which to this day I'm not able to forget. Wally West. Now we come to the prodigy, the one who was supposed to give us some hope, but instead had to be written off from the show because he didn't have much to give. Wally West is one of the best characters in comics. The fact that he was in high school when Barry had started his journey to become the Flash just makes him more relatable, like Spider-Man. But in the show, they make him the same age as Iris is. They introduce him when the Flash is not fully aware of his full potential, and they just don't know what to do with him. Most of the time you see Kid Flash, he's just running around in his yellow suit alongside Flash trying to help him, and the other times he's just standing around doing nothing. It became so bad that they had to write him off the show and onto the Legends of Tomorrow, and later on the writers wrote Wally West off the Legends too, because he was kind of too powerful for the Legends. Didn't seem fair for the episode to end too early because Kid Flash got all the criminals already. Barry Allen / The Flash. You heard it right, folks. Barry Allen, the one and only, is creating problems with the show. Now, you might be wondering, how's that? Let me tell you. Barry in the first 3 seasons was still likable and was trying to figure out his powers. But Barry Allen in the first 3 seasons was also very independent. He didn't rely too heavily on Cisco or Caitlin. In the first seasons, although Cisco and Caitlin were his eyes and ears, Barry solved his villains by his quick thinking. Every time Barry fought a villain, although Cisco and Caitlin gave Barry suggestions, Barry was the one who found the solutions, eventually. For example, in one episode of season 1, Cisco mentioned it would be cool for Barry to break the sonic speed and do a sonic punch in a fight against his bully who had a heightened invulnerability, and Instead of Cisco saying, "Hey Barry, do the sonic punch I told you," Barry runs away from distance and then runs back to the bully, which causes Cisco to say, "Holy cow, Barry is doing a sonic punch." That's the kind of independence we need for a character. Do you see the difference? Yeah, I hope you do. In the first 3 seasons, Cisco and Caitlin weren't telling Barry what to do. They merely provided hints to Barry in order for him to solve the problem. Now, in season 4, 5, and 6, Barry Allen somehow needs Cisco, Caitlin, and out of all the people, Iris, to tell him how to beat the villain. Why is Iris even providing the solution to defeat a villain and Barry can't? It makes it seem that Barry is too dependent on his team, which is even more insulting since Barry has accelerated thinking, meaning he can think a lot faster than Iris or Cisco or Caitlin. And that's a big problem because when you compare Barry Allen in Supergirl, Arrow, or The Legends of Tomorrow crossovers to his own show, you see that Barry Allen is very confident and smart and can handle himself pretty easily without his team holding him down. I liked Barry Allen when he was in Arrow, to be honest. He was smart. He was so smart that he was able to deduce most of Green Arrow's identity and would have solved it himself if Felicity hadn't told Barry Oliver's secret himself. Now, I would like to say that the show writers try to fix the problem every now and then with the show, but they just haven't figured out the perfect way to do it yet. But I'm sure that they will. Either that or the show will end up with their fans hating it like that other show. Not you, Arrow. We love you, Steven. You and your totally hot bod. Please like if you like this video, dislike if you dislike it, and thanks for watching. This is Restless Broccoli, signing out.
Bravo 6, going dark.